loss, and wellness. I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Coach?
Oh, I'm doing well. It's Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? Yeah, I'm doing well. Did you have a good weekend? Good time off? We took Monday off.
I did not take Monday off.
You did not take Monday off?
No, I did not. I
Oh.
coached
Yeah.
and I watched the inauguration
Yeah.
and I did macros and
Okay.
I did all the things. You took
All
the day
things.
off.
I took the day off until I didn't.
Because
Until
then you
last-
didn't
till last night.
message me at all day.
Well, there was so much happening.
My whole family just ignored me.
I was on pins and needles all day long.
Was
And it looked like a holiday. I dubbed it a holiday.
You know what? Out of all the politics and traditions, like the traditions that we do, man,
Yeah.
that gets me. Like
Oh, it gets you in
Democrat,
the feels.
Republican, liberal,
even
like
care.
liberal, conservative. I don't care. Like when you're the military, man, that just was beautiful.
It was beautiful. I had never seen that
I hadn't
ceremony
either.
before. I don't know if
It was beautiful.
if it was new. I think I heard one of the news outlets say that they typically do that at the parade, and so it was different. It was a different venue.
It was, and he kind of had to go from here to here to here, to see all the things. But I loved how when they took it inside, how it highlighted, and you had to see it. Like it wasn't like a let's turn our cheek.
Yeah,
like the Mississippi band.
I know it.
What?
We don't get to see that when you watch it on
amazing.
TV. So I liked the format.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me the military ceremony? What were the red coats? What were those?
I think those were representing like the old military.
The old style? Okay.
Mhm.
I couldn't figure that out. If you know the whole red
don't,
coat thing. I'm
but
like, does that represent
I think it's representing the old military,
Was
like
beautiful.
like from the beginning to, and then all the different.
Yeah, I watched it all the way till the balls. Did you watch the?
I did, but
till the last one. I was too tired.
But wait a minute, there was a part where we couldn't watch because we were working.
Yeah,
where we.
I have good gaze on multiple things, but this one, the one where Korea, our troops in Korea called in to talk to their new commander in chief. That was really cool.
Oh,
it was just the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like you said, it doesn't matter what side you're on.
Just the traditions.
They all worked together yesterday. Like
like even
Hakeem.
cutting.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, like cutting of the cake, like all of those. The first dance. Some of it's like, this is kind of old school, but the first dance of like a wedding, like just all those traditions of.
Can we talk about Melania and her? Oh my,
she's stunning.
The hat
was stunning for a little bit, and then I wish she took it off. Took it off?
Not me.
She
Not
took
me.
it off.
I was all about
just
the hat
for a little
the
bit.
whole
Like
time.
you could see,
messed her hair up.
I understand that part. That's why I'm like, I know she couldn't.
No, it was.
But I'm
gorgeous.
glad she did for the ball.
It reminded me of they had French Paris themes.
It was so pretty,
classy.
All of them were beautiful.
And then the dress. Oh, the dress. And Usha, her dress. Did you watch Good Morning, Gretchen?
Good morning.
Did you watch Hillbilly Elegy to know who our vice president is now? Go watch it. Like Netflix it. Incredible.
I don't have Netflix.
You will have find it somewhere. Hillbilly Elegy. It's about his life. Like the man came from nothing. Like nothing. And Brian, can you fix the bird situation?
Is he gonna get eaten?
The bird just flew from his in the cat is after him.
Listen, Winston just wants to be on air. That's all.
Fix the bird. He flew. The last session we had together, it was Remington
that's right.
that nearly ended his life, and I heard him flying across the room, and I heard a meow.
Yeah, I recall that a couple weeks ago, but then I also forgot that I had to go live by myself, which because you had trauma last week.
I just remember screaming in the microphone.
Yeah.
No!
So all of you had to see my face for a whole hour.
Oh my! So
that's
what we did yesterday. We ushered in a new era of MAGA, not a MAGA, MAHA. I couldn't say it. Make America Healthy Again.
Yes.
I'm all in, and I'm watching that very, very closely.
I guess we're going to Washington. Mark doesn't know that still. Yeah. And I don't know when. But if it's giving me this much anxiety that I have right now about being on jury duty when I have a life,
just follow me.
Just
follow me. That's what my family has learned to do.
Cortisol right now.
Yeah, my family has learned when we walk into a room and there's dignitaries,
let Monica
talk. They follow me, but
I do. I'm good shadowing.
Something changed this last governor's ball, and I was left in the dust, and my husband was up.
I believe it
with the lieutenant governor, and
I believe it.
I don't know what happened to the wallflower that I was married to, but I was like, "Where's my husband?" I was talking to a senator, and I was like, "Where's my husband?" Oh, he's up talking to the lieutenant governor.
Yep.
Yeah,
I believe that.
So,
does not mean that this wallflower, because I'm not a wallflower per se. Yes. Just in circumstances.
I've taught you a lot. Just how to fill in space during our lives. Do you remember that? Remember that time when we first started our lives and I tossed you the ball and you were like, and I told you how to spin it?
Yeah, there's a lot of living and learning.
Yeah. But we are going to be watching. And by the way, this is something that you can do. We want to really instill in our audience that you can make a difference and that your voice is not one of a billion people who, you have no power. We watched what happened when America came together and said, we've had enough and we want a different direction in this country. And so we watched what happened. So what we can do on the health side, no matter where you stand politically, there is no political lines when it comes to health. There tends to be, there tends to be a leaning. But what you can do right now to get RFK installed as Human Health and Services, to make America healthy again, what you can do is call your senator. Yes. And you can ask them to vote yes for RFK so that we can watch our health, watch us take back our health from big pharma, from the big food companies. We're already seeing a ramification of this with red dye 3 being banned last week before we even had a new administration. So we're seeing a shift to the right direction in this. And so you can call your senator and say, yes, we need you to vote for RFK so that we can get healthy again.
Yeah.
Imagine what would happen if we just got healthy, and imagine what would happen if we changed what our kids ate.
I don't know what this country right now would look like because we have become so used to this way of life. And I think there's going to be a lot of kicking and screaming because of how addicted we are to this convenient way of life. And these chemicals that are being put in our bodies.
Yeah.
But if you guys were not getting sick as much as you are getting sick right now, would you not want to make this change? That's my question. If you focus, especially right now with this virus that's going around and everybody's talking about how terrible the stomach flu is and even the sinus infection, if you were getting it worse than what you probably needed to have, I don't know how I'm trying to put it.
If your body had the potential to fight these nasty things
better.
Off.
Yes.
If you had the potential to potentially not get cancer because what we're feeding our body is toxic.
Right.
And some of it we have a choice about. We have a choice whether we pick up that Twinkie or not. Some of the things we don't have a choice because it's in the water system.
Right.
I heard, I read an article yesterday that they're already talking about removing the fluoride and getting our water system back to where it needs to be. So we have a really, really great opportunity here, and we're going to keep our ears to the ground. We're going to watch this. So if you don't like to talk politics, you may not want to follow us, because we are all in and all about protecting our audience
with our food politics, for sure.
Food,
100% food politics, because
I don't
it
even
is.
call it politics anymore. It's life or death.
Yeah,
like it really is, where we have been poisoned. We have leaned on a system that has wanted us drugged. We've leaned on a system that actually was owned by tobacco just in the last
Procter and Gamble, right?
Years.
Gamble.
It's insane. And
they brought it here.
Yeah. So our food system has the same lobbyists as the tobacco industry, and they found out they couldn't.
No, it wasn't Procter and Gamble.
No, I don't. It's the top 10.
They were the ones with Crisco. They brought Crisco, and I'm trying to think of who.
Yeah.
The tobacco. Anyway,
we have a chance to change it. So that's one thing you can do. Get your senator on the phone. And that's how you change things. You talk to your senator. If you see your senator come into your local community, go talk to him. Go talk to her. Say, hey, this is because there's a really big misguided thought out there that senators know everything about everything.
No.
They know nothing about nothing.
No, they don't.
Most of them came from a career. That's what they know about. They depend on you to educate them. They don't know. I didn't know about red dye 40 until a few weeks ago.
Right.
Right?
Right. Well, I knew about it.
I knew it was bad, but I didn't know the extent about it. I didn't know that it was battery acid, that it was it literally is petroleum that we're feeding our kids, and we're just handing it. Every time we hand our kids little Debbie's, you're handing them petroleum. Can't do that anymore. Cannot do that anymore.
No. But
so they don't know. Our job is to educate them. So anytime you see them, and it's just as simple as having a chat. You know, we gear ourselves up. We stress ourselves up thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to call my senator. You know, they put their pants on the same way you do in the morning.
Yeah.
They go through the same things. They have the same marriage problems as you. They have the same stressors as you. They are just people. So pick up the phone, call them. Best thing you can do, even beyond getting to know your senator. And I love talking to my senator. I love talking to which, by the way, my senator, your senator too, one of yours, Darcy, is Jim Banks, and he will be voting for RFK. Thank you, Senator Banks.
Yes.
We love you for that. We don't know about Todd Young. He is a wild card. And he's on a thin line in my book. But we don't know where he stands right now. But a lot of people think, oh my gosh, I got to talk to the guy. The most powerful man in your senator's office is the little volunteer, the little guy. He's not a volunteer, but the little guy who calls you and who answers the phone, who is the field director. In Rudy's case, we love Griffin. We absolutely adore that man. He will get the message to where it's supposed to go. So a lot of times it's not your senator or your representative that is the most powerful. It's the field guys, because they are the ones who are educating themselves and telling the senator, hey, this is what red dye 40 is. You might want to vote against it.
I think just as important is, when you have people that are willing to step on the front lines and talk to these people, also the idea of having the supporters behind that person. Like there's always going to, the more you support, I'm going to be Monica Shadow. Doesn't mean I'm going to go and talk to the people. Mm-hmm. I will probably, because that's who I am. Mm-hmm. But if I were somebody that was uncomfortable, just there supporting somebody, showing numbers of there's a lot of people that care about this. Yeah. And they see the visual of, okay, this person's not just here to be like Monica or be like this person, but they're actually here because they believe in this stuff too.
Yeah, so, they know that you have taken the time to come out, and there is actually numbers that break down into that formula of if a senator gets a letter that represents, a certain amount of constituents. If that person has somebody show up at their office, that represents even more constituents. Mm-hmm. So every phone call, every letter, everything represents, Monica Boyer times, 5,000. When podcast, that's the whole Joe Rogan thing. I mean, when Trump went on Joe Rogan, he nailed I think he won when the day he got shot, but when he went on Joe Rogan, that sealed the deal. not because of Joe Rogan, he's one guy, but how many people does that Joe Rogan impact?
Represent, right. So everybody likes it. Not everybody.
That's how you get it done.
I don't like his language, but other than that,
yeah.
I watched, side note, I tried to watch Joe Rogan interviewing Mel Gibson.
Oh my gosh, that was funny.
I could hear every breath that Mel Gibson was taking.
Yes.
Like this. I was like, I can't. I want to hear what you have to say.
Let's pull the mic back just a little bit.
It was very great. It was great audio.
Yeah.
Like you could hear everything. It was great.
Yeah.
But it was like, I can't.
Yeah.
As somebody who is sensitive to certain noises, I just can't. And
it's
I do it myself.
Me nervous now. It's no secret. Y'all know where I stand politically. Like, I don't even have to say it. I was born Republican, right? Although now I'm more libertarian than anything. But it is so scary now because I love boxes. Like, I want you to put me in a box because I feel safe in that box. I am out of the box now.
Yeah.
I have all of the leanings, and it's very, very scary. It's very scary because I don't know where I belong. I'm like, hey, I agree with that Democrat over there. Oh my gosh, he makes sense. John Fetterman is going to be coming over to the Republican Party this next week. I saw that was released. Nobody knows where they belong anymore.
No, I think we're building a new era of like this is what we have, like what they talk about, the like-mindedness and peace amongst the groups, the separation. And I think once
I don't have to agree with everything you say in order for me to listen to you.
The one person that we want to support, RFK, that nudge person, I won't mention any names, but come on, like.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard's a Democrat. It's like, I don't even know where I belong anymore. I know where I belong. I belong under freedom. That is what spoke. That is what speaks to me, is the freedom to go back to the Constitution. And the Republicans got away from it. They got away from it, and they lost. You know? And so I don't have a home anymore. But I like homes. I like boxes, and I don't even have a religious box anymore. Just under Jesus. That's all I have. I don't even know.
One thing we stand for.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other thing with our beliefs too, is that we see that they're trying to control us, and it all does fall down into freedom and peace.
Yeah.
Not stirring up drama. Let's not stir up drama just because you want to be wealthy and in control.
Did you know something? This is really weird. We didn't have a president yesterday for 1 minute. Like, all of my religious fanatic friends are like, oh, I can't believe he didn't put his hands on the Bible. I get tired of religious people sometimes.
Me too.
I really get sick and tired of the Monday morning quarterbacks. He didn't put his hand on the Bible because we didn't have a president for a minute. That's why Justice Roberts, is he the one that did the oath? He was like pushing them because he swore in the vice president. They couldn't get the kid. The kids were, they were trying to get them out of there. And he didn't even wait for Trump's family to get up there or the Bibles. And so all the religious people are like, oh, he hates Jesus. No, we didn't have a president for a minute. I wonder. I wondered something. Somebody posted on my Facebook page this week. Was JD the actual president during that time because he was sworn in during that minute? I don't know. But chill out, religious people. Chill out.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about today. It was
no, we're not. Of mine. We just had to touch on the highlights because it was pretty big.
You want to know how we feel, right?
Right.
You don't.
No, but we conversate about it because the reason why is because politics, again, like we said, our passion is helping people heal and empower themselves through food and through what they eat and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And when that falls into the category, falling into the politics, which it is,
talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. It doesn't mean, that we're hardcore, blah, 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 right, left, whatever. We believe what we believe. We believe in freedom. We believe in not poisoning our people and seeing them as, what do they call it? Like a side character, where it's that character that's in the car and gets blown up and nobody cares about the character that's inside the car that got blown up. It's all about the main character.
Right.
That thing, like, it's not about that. We all
Yeah.
It didn't matter, but they're seeing us as just side characters, extras.
Right. Or money.
Or money.
Politics, Yeah. So we're going to talk about it.
Doctors are seeing
we're gonna
that.
keep you up. Oh, thank
goodness. Like I just get so
Shout out
passionate
to
about
Dr. Barry. Can we talk about him for a
Yes,
minute?
sure.
Dr. Barry, you have so much courage. And we coaches are going to do everything in our power to stand by you and support you. His license is on the line.
Mhm.
These doctors who are coming out,
Dr. Ovadia?
Dr. Ovadia, your licensors are on the line, but you believe in saving your people instead
Yeah.
of just pushing drugs on them. And I want that changed as
Mhm.
well. I want the medical field changed so these doctors can have the courage and they can actually heal their people.
Yeah.
Watch their people heal themselves.
It's really hard once the scales have come off of your eyes and you can actually see clearly. It's hard to unsee it.
You can't go down the grocery aisle anymore.
You can't.
It's disgusting. Knowing what we know about what's in those foods. Well, you were talking, was it in our private weight loss group? Yeah, it was. They're labeling things organic maltodextrin now.
Yes.
And healthy.
Because that word matters.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been in the world of Monsanto, and I guess that word could probably trigger and flag our maybe not anymore. But when I was in that world, I learned a lot about organic food and the fact of what they let slide by to be considered organic, which is not organic.
No.
And there's those big wig companies that can just sneak on by because they just barely make the amount of what is considered organic.
Yeah.
It's still
Truth is
maltodextrin.
coming out. Truth is
It's
coming
still
out.
sugar cane.
We're here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sugar is sugar. Period.
Sugar is sugar. It still affects your body.
Yeah. Sancy says she wants insurance to cover it also. Yeah. We want medical freedom. We want to be able to take our insurance to whatever doctor we want so that we can we can heal ourselves. Right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about, the New Year's resolutions. Those are over for most people. It lasts until the second Friday of the month of January. So people right now are feeling a little
jury duty.
They get jury. Did you quit your diet because of jury duty?
Some people might, because now it's overwhelming. As a mom taking care of kids and they've got things and places to be, I get stressed out.
Yeah. Stress, does it? I wanted to open this up. We have we do the 12 steps in our food addiction, and something that was read last night in our support group kind of ties us right into what we're talking about, because we want to talk about why are you done with your New Year's resolutions? You had such a passionate reason to get healthy, right? You had such great reasons. Some of you were sick and tired of not being able to breathe because of the extra body weight. Some of you are tired of the high blood sugar. You were tired of not being able to conceive. You were tired of the PCOS. You were tired of all these things. You had great reasons to start, right? You had great reasons. And then the second Friday comes along and you're like taking a bite of sugar. You're taking a bite. It starts with one bite. Yeah. You're starting to get FOMO. Your friends have already fallen off the wagon. So why not you? You started to get sick of tracking your food. Second Friday of the month, you're taking the pills that you spent $349 on, right? Because that was going to make you skinny. You took the shot and you're throwing up over that. Everything's starting to come down. And we want to talk about why that happens. Why can't we do things fully, right? And then what is the difference between those who are pushing forward and are pushing through and are succeeding? Because there's that other side of the aisle where we've got some massive success happening right now in I don't know. I gave myself a thumbs up.
You can do that. You get fancy computer.
That's cool. I'm going to just read out of our 12-step book. And I want you to think about your own personal journey and the own personal either failures or successes, right? But the biggest thing I want you to get, I'm just going to rip it right out of step 4. It says the past helps us understand ourselves better. So In step 4, we take an honest look at the beliefs, attitudes, and values and behaviors that led us to the food. How we choose to look at it and deal with it in our lives, and the world that lies at the core of the world that lies within the core of the disease. We need to consider such things as self-centeredness, anger, resentment, fear, pride, dishonesty, and negative thinking, as well as those behaviors. Those of us who have completed step 4 have found that taking and searching this fearless moral inventory was one of the most loving things we could ever do to ourselves and for ourselves. That understanding was the beginning of emotional healing. Many of us had lived our lives up to this point with a secret feeling of shame. So the reality is, we have been through this emotional journey from almost the moment of birth, the moment that we gave our babies formula, and it's packed full of soy and sugar, and that's the beginning of our addiction as humans, and then life hits us. And so I think it is, for me, and I want you to either add on to this one or add on to something that you think that people fail. I think people fail because of step 4, because we are not willing to take a moral inventory of ourselves. This doesn't just happen with food addicts. This happens with everybody. We don't want to talk about the past. We don't want to look at the failures of the past and say, "Oh my gosh, I need to reevaluate that." What failed last time? Well, I took a pill. That pill promised me that I was going to be skinny within 30 days, right? Or I didn't really want to take time to deal with that emotion that was bringing up my emotional eating addictions. We want to numb our pain, and we want to numb ourselves so much that we are not willing to look at this. And so we get into week 2 when the pain actually starts, and the habits start to fall apart, and we're like, what just happened? We didn't assess and evaluate what failed the first time. What failed last year, right? So I think step 4 is not only an incredible healing balm to food addicts and to really digging up that past, but I think it applies to everybody. We haven't looked at our past to help us understand who we are now. And I think that's why we fail. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Darcy? Why do
I've got lots of
people
thoughts.
fail second Friday of January? Why do they fail?
I 100% agree with you with all that you just said. But in the other aspect of somebody who never saw themselves as a food addict, I always thought I had control until I started writing it out. That's where I advocate so highly for journaling. Because if you start journaling, you're able to see it. Yeah, you can think about those things in the past, but then you can quickly forget about, oh, I remember bringing that up. But after doing first step, second step, and the third step with the group, I'm like, this is bringing up some gnarly information about myself that I forgot, and that it connects through. It goes all the way, for me, it goes all the way back, very first memory. And I don't know why this is my very first memory, but of me during recess in kindergarten, I had those little bright neon green spandex with lace above my knee. It's right there. Those long spandex in my Snoopy shirt that I had that matched, because we had to match every outfit.
I remember that Snoopy shirt.
I was swinging on the swing set, and I looked down at my legs, and I saw them squished flat, and I said, man, I'm fat. And that was my very first moment that just changed my world. And then I recently remembered when my grandma patted my butt and said, man, you've got some tush, or she said it's something else, but she basically insinuated I had a big butt compared to my skinny twigged cousins that had zero fat on their body.
No hate to them.
No hate to them, because I love them so much. But I was jealous of that, because they could wear whatever and then have their tights coming down to their knees because their butt made and their thighs made things shimmy on down. But I knew, looking back at pictures, I was not an overweight kid. I had it in my head that I was fat. And so picking up like this and writing these things down helped me build a map of where I became.
Did you counter that lie with the truth? Because I'm looking at the sentence, the past helps us understand ourselves better. So knowing that, remembering that, journaling that is a great thing.
Mhm.
Did you do anything to reverse that? Like are you not there yet? Because that could be too.
I have, and I'm still working on it. Like it's in progress, but I've been able to identify that weight has always, and I'm not blaming my parents. I'm not at all,
Yeah.
because that is not, it's not fair, because it happens to everybody. It was the mindset back then, and why the food system changed.
Yeah.
Because people were gaining weight and they didn't know why they were gaining weight,
It
because
was a low fat era.
it was the low fat era. I remember mom telling me that in high school she'd go with half a slice or half sandwich with one thin slice of a meat. I think it was turkey. It was from like Aldi, when you the shaved,
Yeah.
and that is what she had for lunch every day. And I'm like, I would not survive on that. But I'm thinking that was the mindset of our world, and it transferred on to these and Silas is the same way. Silas has basically called himself fat. Like, I know he's not hearing that in my house.
Right.
Where is he hearing this from? And he's calling himself fat. He sees himself as that.
Right.
And he is like this skinny little tiny, he don't tell him I said that he's tiny, but because he gets offended by that. But you go back to that, and that's where I'm not justifying, but I'm saying, like, that was where things turned, and it wasn't my fault. It wasn't, it was just the surroundings that I had, and the idealistic of the world around me.
Yeah. The diet culture.
And there's some people that thrived off of the diet culture, always exercising, always eating minimal, always eating low fat. And then there's the people that their parents did a really decent job of not bringing up the issues with diet. Like, they never thought about diet being as
Well, you see
controlling.
a beautiful picture of failure with Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can't even run their program anymore on their values, and they have to bring in the shot.
Right.
That's a beautiful picture of failed diet.
Yeah.
Failed diet culture is that we can't do this anymore, and we're going to bring in the shot. Right.
Right.
And people are falling for it. So the diet culture is alive and well. It goes right along with our parents of low fat and the things that we went through as kids.
The fact is that Weight Watchers works for people, and it's like the longevity of it, though, is not so idealistic. That's why we get a lot of people from Weight Watchers.
Meaning it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, but it works at first.
Yeah.
And then
does the starvation Optavia.
And then people are not seeing things done fast enough. So if they're not seeing it done fast enough, that's when they are resorting to the shot.
And honestly, Darcy, that's why we're the last house on the block when it comes to, our busy season is not January 1st, because January 1st, everybody's picking up the potions and the pills. And they've been promised this fake news that they're going to lose weight very quickly. Our program is slow and steady, not quick and easy. Right. And so we are the last house on the block, and I'm not ever going to change that. We could do what Weight Watchers does, and switch our mission, and, let's bottom line this company. I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Right. What we do is we come in after those have failed for everybody. We come in after the fact of, the second Friday of January. We're like, okay, what did we not do? We didn't look at the past. We didn't look at last year's failed diet attempt. And we wanted a quick route. Our friends are doing the quick route. And right now, with this shot thing going out there, it is the fastest weight loss, and it's the most dangerous weight loss journey that I think
it's a gamble.
Oh my gosh, it is. There's no way to compete with dropping, 100 pounds in 6 months. There's just no way to compete with that. What we have to do is we just have to wait and pick up the pieces when that weight is raging back, and it is. And now I am on. I watch. I'm undercover in a lot of these groups, and I'm watching people say, "Oh my gosh, I am on 2.5 of semaglutide, and I just gained 5 pounds." Dr. Vera, I remember talking to her. I think it was on the podcast that we did, and there was not enough evidence at the time to talk about GLP-1 tolerance. And I am watching it. I have there's, of course, the medical science industry is going to give us lots of data on how effective this shot is. What I'm seeing in real life, in real time, in these real support groups, these are people saying, "Hey, what's wrong? I'm still taking the shot and I just gained 5 pounds last week." Number one, they're not being trained to change their lifestyle. You don't change your lifestyle, that weight is raging back, right? But number two, I think what Dr. Vera mentioned, and she just breathed it a little bit on our podcast about it. We don't know. Is there GLP-1 tolerance? There is for antibiotics. That's why you have to take 5 different kinds. That's why your body becomes tolerant to that medication. It adapts, and then it doesn't work anymore. And so people are like, "Well, it's okay. I'm going to be on this for life. I'm going to be on this. I've just succumbed to the fact that I'm going to, move my bills around. I'm going to be on this for life. I'm going to get back on it." When they get back on it, like the diets, it's not working.
Right.
So we have to go back and we have to rip the Band-Aid off and talk about what has failed in our past. What has failed in the diets that we've done in the past, and how do we fix it?
I would say with that, as I'm journaling, I'm uncovering, like, even when I was first doing keto, the first 3 years, there was a lot of things that I was not willing to uncover until I started to write it out. Until I started building this map.
You were resistant to it, Darcy.
I was, because
you were angry, resistant.
I wasn't
to
angry.
You were absolutely. God is my witness. You were like, "No, I don't want to talk about that."
But here's the thing: until, like, I knew a lot about myself, because if anybody of you know, like, Enneagrams, like, some people call it a cult. You can make it a cult if you want to, or you can just use it as a personality understanding, like, identifier. And I'm a creative soul. I'm an emotional soul. That's my personality. I'm a number 4. Like, I love art. I love music. I am in tune with all of that. And then I also have to learn everything there is to know about myself. So I know a lot about myself. I've done a lot of self-reflection, but then there's a point in time where Monica's talking about that I just haven't uncovered, like, seeing myself as a food addict. And I can see days, because I'm carnivore right now, but, like, in the first 3 years of how even the keto foods, I did not eat in moderation, or I would skip out on certain healthier options and move to a keto treat instead to fit it my macros. So I'm not getting the nutrients that my body needed. Instead, I'm replacing it. To me, that sounds like a food addiction problem.
Right. Yeah.
And as I'm uncovering and writing this stuff out, I'm building this map about myself.
Yeah.
And being able to then go back and collect this data based on how I eat. And that in alone empowers you to be like, okay, this is what I can handle. Like it was saying in what we just read last night was step 3.
Yeah, we were in step 3.
Step 3, and we were talking about how oh shoot, it just left me that let me find it. I can flip to it really quick because I highlighted it.
How's come your
gradually
your
food
book is
regained its
mine?
dominance in our thoughts.
Yeah.
Eventually the day came when we again wanted food we didn't need, and staying away from eating compulsively became more difficult for us. Even eating a healthy lifestyle, food can regain its dominance over us.
Yeah.
And I think that's what was happening with the keto foods. And that to me showed me I've got a problem. But it also talks about, identifying the foods that do that triggering. That's empowering
and
you.
being honest about
and being honest about it. So then when you know and identify what foods tend to do that to you the most, then you know, okay, it's like alcohol. I can't drink alcohol, or I can't, gamble because I'll gamble my whole house away. There are
I can't
certain
eat an
things in
apple.
it. You can't eat an apple because
How
then you're
crazy
going
does
to
that
be
sound?
constantly thinking about
Yeah.
the kitchen, and that's legit.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
but being honest, because in my lovely little healthy self, I'm like, well, apples, God made them, and
mhm,
so they're a fruit, right? Well, for me personally, it drags me back into relapse.
right.
One of the exercises we had, and I don't remember if this was on our food addiction group or if this was in our weight loss group, but one of the things that we had our clients do was create a map, create a diet map. Where are your relapses? Where have
Mm,
you it was in food addiction because we talked
yeah.
about relapse. Where have you relapsed? And create the map to get to this relapse, because every time our clients relapse, they don't relapse around a donut. They relapse around one of their kids blowing up, or the
Yeah.
relapse
Oh,
happened. The
yeah.
relapse is not the food. It's the thing that
The
happened. And so we
action.
ask them to create a map around their
Yeah.
relapse. And then we said, okay, we're going to make a plan of recovery and
Mhm.
what happens to get you. Because if you see, and it's just like if you pull up Google Maps, if you see one of those red marks on a road, you're not going to go there, right? A bridge is out. You're not going to go
Right.
there. So
There's
when you
danger.
see your relapses and
Yeah.
you see, oh, I failed here last time, you're going to make an alternative route. And everybody's alternative route is not the same. But the
Right.
problem is we're not honest.
Right.
We're not willing to be honest. So how dare you beat up on an apple? How dare you? That's a health food, right?
I would like to speak into that
The
because I
apple?
did. Yes,
Yeah.
because I speak with a lot of people that have this mindset. Well, it's in the Bible. Honey's in the
Mm-hmm.
Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So God wants us to eat it.
Right.
Listen, you're only taking certain context out of the Bible, first of all. Second of all, man has enhanced the fruits
Mm-hmm.
and vegetables that we have today. So, are they truly God created? Is it from the original form that God created that apple? My guess would be no, because it was more tart. It was not sweet. It was a crab apple,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's
Bananas are the
other
same.
things
Bananas
are
are
the same
they were
way.
little tiny ones,
They
right?
were tiny. They were
Yeah.
smaller portions, and we
Yeah.
enhanced them. And people eat not just one apple, they eat a whole fruit salad in
Mm-hmm.
one setting and saying, "Oh,
Right.
this is good." Listen, y'all.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No. No, and that's just an example. And
It's an
that's
example.
and
I had to
listen
just get that off
here
my
on the
chest.
other side of that, because I don't sit in any box anymore. We've got data now. I have one client who can handle them
Yeah?
completely fine. Give her a strawberry? No, she can't. But she had to come to the point where she was like honest with herself and said, here is where my relapse tendencies tend to be. And here is what I'm going to take out. I'm going to put a red light on this particular food. So we don't have a client on any this two of our
No.
clients are not on the same menu,
No, they're
right?
not.
So, yeah, honesty,
Yes.
open-mindedness, and
Anyway,
willingness.
yes.
And that's hard for some
Yeah.
of the people like myself who like boxes, Gary. That is a learning experience for me because my box says that apples are okay, right? My box says that's a health food. Well, it doesn't work for me.
Right.
So I'm going to have to get outside that box. Now, there's commonalities. There's things that you and I will never compromise on. We will never compromise on sugar. We will never compromise on processed foods, ultra
No,
processed
ultra
foods.
processed.
We
Yeah.
will never compromise on seed
Oil.
oils.
Nope.
Period,
Nope.
right? So, yeah, open-mindedness and willingness. And that's really hard in these days because we
Mhm.
need I don't know if it's because we need an identity, we need to know, right?
But it's important to do exactly what we are sharing with you today about collecting data on yourself.
Mhm.
If you can handle an apple, a whole one, maybe even
Mhm.
2, and your body reacts to it okay, then great.
Mhm.
But don't go around telling people, "Oh, we just need to eat fruits and vegetables," like doctors are doing. My
Mhm.
doctor's telling me to eat more fruits and vegetables,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking, "That's not good for me." I've been
Well,
there, done that. I know that it's not good
there.
for me.
You bring
So,
up the point
yeah,
of the physiology of this, that apples spike your blood sugar. If
it
you are
does.
trying to reverse PCOS, you're trying to reverse type 2 diabetes, No, there's a scientific reason why when you spike your blood sugar, you spike your insulin, you're going to be insulin resistant.
Let's talk about age. Age too matters.
Yes,
Yeah,
age.
if you are under 30 years old, yeah, I'm sure your body's metabolizing things perfectly fine. But by golly, when you hit that 30 and you get clotheslined and then you're like, I don't know why I hurt this morning. I just turned 30.
Right.
It changes and it
Hormones
slowly
change.
plummets.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's not a one size fits all. There's a standard, and there are things that we will, that are truth, right? Same with biblical principles. There is a lot of things in the denominations that I don't participate in that my sister next door to me participates in. It's not a box issue. Salvation is a box issue, right? So it applies in religion. It applies in eating. But the biggest thing that we want you to hear and why you failed on your last one is you weren't honest with yourself. You don't know. You don't know your past, and number 2, you wanted a quick out. Quick outs just don't work. They just do not work. If you lost more than 1 to 2 pounds a week, I'm concerned about your health journey. I'm concerned that you're eating enough. So there's some things that are, scientific reasons why you failed. Quick outs being the number one. Hey, it wasn't quick enough for me. But then also not understanding your past and understanding why you failed.
Is there something happening in your? Is there
help you?
Oh.
No.
Hi, Brian.
Okay. Yeah, get everything you can in there.
I don't think that they're seeing your on-air sign. Yeah, it's on, but they don't see it.
Our contractor's here today, and so Brian is out there helping him load up the trailer.
Nice.
So, if you know your past and you know how you failed in the past, you are more likely to be able to fix it. Thirdly, the second one was, what was the second one? Second one is you wanted a quick way out. The third one is you did it alone. And, by the way, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Gretchen here said it's not a strong enough why.
Yeah, not enough why.
That's a good one to add.
Yeah, if you have a strong enough why, you're gonna walk through.
I don't want to be in a nursing home when I'm old.
To your goal. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But the third one is you did it alone. And most people, they go into this with a proud attitude of, I'm not telling anybody I'm losing weight because I failed so many times in the past. And it's a self-protection thing.
Or they just don't want to explain what they're doing if they're embarrassed of it.
Exactly. They're embarrassed of what they're doing, and they're not
because it works.
Right.
Maybe. Depends on what you're doing.
Right. So when you do it alone, you are 5 times more likely to quit than somebody who has a partner and who has a friend, who has a coach, who has somebody who's walking through the pit with them. Speaking of that, we just graduated one of our first dual accredited coaches this weekend. Congratulations to Coach Garcia. She has gotten her certification to help coach her keto coaching, and she got her carnivore certification. So congratulations to you for that. You're going to change some lives.
Absolutely.
But we have found that when you have somebody to walk with you, you are 10 times likelier to succeed and to get to the end goal than if you do it by yourself alone. It's hard to do it alone. Your family doesn't do it with you. It's easier to cook, when nobody knows what you're doing, it's easier to just finally cave in and eat what everybody else is eating, right? Humans take the path of least resistance. It's just human nature. You're starting to freeze up. Are you still with me? Okay.
I am. Right. I was kind of stuck here at listening to you.
Oh, okay.
I was living. I was still breathing and live.
I couldn't tell if we were live or if I needed to keep talking still.
I'm going to start doing that where I'm just going to stay in one spot even though I'm not frozen.
I did that to you last session. Remember that? Remember when I left the last session and had to run up to my contractor and kept you talking? Or was that you were recording a podcast or something? Yeah. You had to keep talking, and this mic was not here. And when I came back, I saw the look of relief on your face.
Because I was like, I could finish this podcast off by myself, but I knew that I shouldn't. but I didn't know when you were coming back.
Oh my gosh.
That's hard. Like I did that live by myself last week. That's hard talking to yourself for an hour or two.
Thankfully, we got a lot of people in here this morning conversing with us. That really helps us when
it really does.
When you
it also helps us when you share this out with your friends.
Yes.
Share it out.
When you like and share, it definitely helps get our message out.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff coming up this year. This is going to be a very good year for health. It's going to be a very good year for us. And so we just want to encourage you. If you don't know why you keep failing at the diet, and if you want to change your life from the inside out, walk with somebody. Don't do this thing alone.
Right.
I mean, at the very least, get a friend who is willing to speak truth. A lot of us were like, yeah, I've got a friend, all right, but that friend will, agree to go drinking with me with 2 asks.
Right.
They'll tell us the first time, second time, I'm all in. I'm going.
Can I just say, like, here's an example. So I thought I was not able to do this sounds like an impossible task of getting rid of dairy.
Yeah.
I'm now 149 days dairy free.
Uh-huh.
And it's now just like a second, I don't know, like my second breath. I don't know how you would phrase that. It's just like you live and breathe. You know that dairy is off the table.
Mm-hmm.
And you find other options.
Right.
Even though there's not very many other options for dairy.
Yeah.
But I can see the impact that it has on my life, so I'm going to continue going forward. So when you start this lifestyle and you are in week 3 even, and you're about done, wit's end of like, I don't think I can do this. This is really hard. Just, I would say, keep on going. Double down. Do something a little different that's not adding in, I don't know, adding in this stuff, your old ways of living. Or tell yourself you're allergic to it, because I am allergic to it, apparently.
Yeah.
Like my body does not like it, and your body does not like the food choices that you're making right now because you're hurting. You are feeling broken. You're feeling sluggish. You're feeling like, I can't believe my doctor's trying to put me on another medication. I'm already on 15. All of those things align, and all of those things are telling you need a health change.
Yeah.
And you need to go to simplicity, Whole Foods. Stop doing this crud. And you just stay focused, and you can it's just like second nature to me now. Like I don't miss it. Yeah. I do miss it. I'm going to not lie about that one. I do miss dairy, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like
I
don't
probably
need it.
miss the convenience of dairy the most because it's a really good filler.
You can make a lot of things with dairy.
Yeah. I just had something flash across my screen. It says the colors we're dying for. Red dye 40 is known for hyperactivity and various types of cancer. Red dye 3 is thyroid cancer.
Ooh.
Think about when we get a client coming to us now. I would say 7 out of 10 of them have thyroid issues.
Yeah.
Chromosomal damage. That's red dye 3. Yellow dye 5, hyperactivity, chromosomal damage, and thyroid tumors. Yellow dye 6, hyperactivity, kidney, and adrenal gland tumors. How many of us come and say, I have adrenal fatigue? That is yellow dye 6. Green dye 3 is bladder and testes tumors. Blue 1, hyperactivity, kidney tumors, and asthma. These are just the dyes in the processed food.
And here's the thing. The FDA knows about this and has known about this, now things are just now surfacing.
Because they banned it in makeup. Red dye 3, they banned in makeup 10 years ago. Why the heck is it okay to ban the makeup, but we can still ingest it? Gretchen says, find a favorite recipe, like a Taco Bell, without the dairy and just eat it over and over until the cravings go away and you can handle it. That's so true. And a lot of people say, oh, Monica, that's boring. Eat the same thing over. No, that's going to be your safety
The same
food.
thing is fine, but tacos kind of ruin me because I don't since I'm just doing carnivore, I'm just eating ground beef with taco seasoning on it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But the principle of what she says,
It
like,
is. It makes
that's your
sense.
safety, because if you go and you find something else or you get a little loosey-goosey, you're gonna come running back to safety.
Yeah.
And that's why we tell people don't give up on eggs. They're like, "Oh,
Right.
Monica, I can't eat any more eggs." Eggs will be your favorite once
They
you get
are.
into your health style, because that's your safety net.
Unless
I mean,
yeah.
I am starving right now. I have not had anything to eat. I am like ready to shut this live off and go get my eggs.
Hey, you know
yeah.
what? This is an easy tip. Ready for this? You should try it
Ready.
when we're done. If you have like chicken bone broth or even beef broth. I did it with beef broth. That beef broth, that's what I had. And if you're doing seasoning, adding some sort of seasoning to it, but you can make your own egg drop soup, and it's so easy. Like you boil the beef broth, and then you scramble the egg, and then as you're stirring the boiling, and you pour it in there, and it's amazing.
I'm gonna try
a
that.
good texture, and you know,
I have done the scrambled eggs. I'm gonna do that.
No, I have done, Gretchen, I have done the soft egg on a taco meat. And it is the variety that does, it's fine. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
But I'll get over. I'm not bitter about it. I do a lot of mixture of meats. I've done some really weird, crazy mixtures of meats, and Mark looks at me like but my new favorite is an egg sandwich with an egg life wrap. So I'm eating a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
But I do use mayo, and I do mustard, and then all that together, where I'll change the sauce up, but that's what I do.
It's possible to do.
It is.
It is completely possible. So if you have fallen off the wagon, if you've tried the diet pills and potions and now they're backfiring, if you can't do this thing alone, reach out to us, kmhealthcoaching.org. Reach out to us, grab a coach, take a coach by the hand, grab a group. I mean, the group alone, last night we had such an amazing group. I didn't think we'd have anybody because the football game was on.
Right.
I had like settled in my head that these people are not going to listen.
Just gonna,
we're going to come answer a couple of questions. These guys came like, it was an amazing group last night.
They came ready. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they weren't. Lost. Yeah, they did. They weren't really ready, but I think they did. Like, they did. Even though they didn't think, they did.
We have a weight loss support group every Monday.
I was going to say, when my clients are done, they don't want to leave group because they love it. So they continue on with group.
Yep.
So that's how important group is, how connection really works, the support. It's amazing.
Yeah. If you happen to be one of our clients listening and you're not coming to group,
you should do
it. You're not doing a very good
We're
job.
shooting you.
We're shooting you. Oh, you guys, there is hope. You don't have to quit after the second week. It took Darcy and it took me 1 year to lose 100 pounds. You can totally do it. You can do it naturally. You don't need the drugs, pills, potions. You don't need all of that stuff. Save your money and do it the right way. Then you're not going to have to deal with the tolerance, the scary stuff. You're going to do it healthy, and you're going to turn your life around and reverse your chronic diseases. Thank you, Dr. Berry, for fighting for us on the chronic disease.
Hey, you can also go, I'm going to help him out right now.
All right.
Because he has this Common Sense Labs right here, but he also gave the end that he has made an extended version.
Is that out yet?
No, but it will be in August. I pre-ordered mine on Amazon.
Okay, good.
Wait, like the beginning of the month.
That's my Bible right there. I keep that on my desk when I work with my clients.
And I always hope, I hope that they go into more details. And I think that's what they're doing, is that they've been told enough that they want more details.
Yeah.
Anytime any of my clients have questions about their blood panels and they want to know what I think, I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not a doctor.
Right.
But go read this and make your own decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and if you want to be a part of this MAHA movement and you want to start changing lives, we are one of just a few companies who certifies. Now we have a dual certification. You can be a certified ketogenic lifestyle coach. You can be a certified carnivore.
Yeah.
My recommendation is get both. A lot of people are into this carnivore thing, and I'm like, you need a foundation of keto. You need a foundation because Carnivore is not for everyone. We would love it to be for everyone. It's just not.
Yeah.
Reality of life says it's not. You got to give your clients an out. You've got to give them a healthy out. And that is the ketogenic lifestyle, which is the foundation. So I recommend the dual program. But visit our website, kmhealthcoaching.org, if you need a coach, or if you are like, I need to start changing some lives. I want to know more science behind this. I want to start to change people and change the conversation.
Yay.
So we're here every Tuesday morning, everybody. Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Life should be calming down for us a little bit, for me personally. So
unless we go to Washington.
Then we will broadcast live from the belly of the beast.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
All right,
well,
guys.
Thanks for sticking in.
Yeah. Tuesday mornings, 11 a.m.
Yep.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Hey, it's Coach Monica here. Guess what? If you're fed up with feeling stuck in your battle with weight or food, I've got something just for you. Check out our free Facebook groups. Over at Food Addiction and Recovery, I'm over there waiting for you. We're going to walk this journey together. It's about getting real, sharing our stories, and lifting each other up. We're in this together every step of the way. And if you're curious about changing your life with keto, the Weight Loss Project is where you want to be. Coach Darcy is amazing. And together, we're not just talking about losing weight. We're talking about finding a happier, healthier you. So, what do you say? Are you ready to join us? The links are in the show notes below, and I'm telling you, this is more than an invite. It is the start of something great.